Mizuno's new Platinum Silver Pack is probably one of, if not my favorite colorway releases of the year. In today's video, we are going to go through the entire pack and do a playtest of one of the most special football boots to ever exist, the Morelia DNA. My name is Noah Kavanaugh, and welcome to the world's greatest football store. So the pack is called Platinum Silver for very obvious reasons. All the boots are a full silver colorway. Some have little bit of accent marks. The Morelia Neo 4 betas have pretty much all silver with tiny little gold accents here. The Alpha's got a mix of gold and kind of this dark silver color where the Mizuno logo is, and then obviously a silver base, and then the DNA is all silver leather with the gold running bird logo and a little bit of this kind of metallic navy blue here in the back, which is very, very reminiscent of OG Mizuno colorways. In fact, there's a very fun piece of information that I want to share with you guys. This was the original color of the first DNA that came out back in 2021, and there's a couple changes that they've made to this new edition that we'll talk about today, but overall this pack looks absolutely incredible from a colorway perspective. Now, unboxing the boots are very similar to any other top Mizuno product, with the made in Japan models, which are these two and the Alpha. We'll talk about the Elite model in just a second, but here in store you actually have all four options if you want. You get the standard Mizuno box with the little string bag that comes with it, and then just the boot. So it's a pretty simple unboxing experience. Really not anything to write home about, but it is very quintessentially Mizuno, simple, elegant, and gets straight to the point, which are these absolutely beautiful new football boots. All right, so let's go from my left to right. Now, starting off with the Mizuno Alpha 2, I don't want to go too deep into tech specs because we just released our video on the original kind of, it looks like a rainbow salmon colorway of the Mizuno Alpha 2. Very, very beautiful, kind of that rainbow colorway. But this new model is absolutely sensational. They've made some adjustments to the upper material, which is an all synthetic and mesh-based upper. It's actually 5 layers, and then they've got this zero glide tech on the inside of the football boot, really locking you in while you're playing. And then they've got this really nice sole plate as well with the triangular studs, not too different from Alpha 1. This entire boot fits very similarly. I would say it fits more true to size than the previous generation, which is really great. And they've eliminated a lot of some of the issues that players were having with some of the bowing and the ankle gaps that players like even myself would get because of it not being as wide and accommodating as some other boots on the market. In their own lineup, the Morelia 2, for instance, is an all-leather football boot that makes it really easy to break in. But with the Alpha 2, they've improved all those things and really just tweaked it ever so slightly to make this easily top dog in the speed boot market category. In my opinion, it sort of stands above the rest in terms of quality, performance, and just the sheer amount of raw sensation you get from a pair of speed boots. Now, moving on to the Morelia Neo 4 Beta, which we have here in the Made in Japan model and in the Elite model. As you can see, they're almost identical. The cool part about this is that the Made in Japan model is obviously the very, very top upper echelon of what football boots have to offer on the market across all the brands. The Made in Japan Mizuno models are by far away the best build quality in terms of durability, in terms of comfort and performance with their 24-hour lasting period, but they also make an Elite model, which is about the same price as some of the lower end top tier models, if you will, from the other brands on the market. They fit incredibly well still, and although they don't have the same build quality and some of these little touches that make the Made in Japan model that much more premium, these are still an incredible option, and I absolutely love these for the price point. It is a boot that fits incredibly well. It's a little more narrow through the midfoot, so if you do have a wider foot shape, I might recommend going with something like a DNA or honestly even an Alpha, but for most people these are going to be a wonderful fitting football boot, and once you go Mizuno, it's really tough to go back. So this is a great option for players who don't want to spend Made in Japan money, but for those who have the budget, this is debatably one of the best boots period on the market in terms of all around fit, comfort. You got the premium K leather in the forefoot, this knit material here through the midfoot and the rear quarter. You got suede heel liner as well, and a sole plate that does a super nice job of feeling very springy and snappy, but not giving you all the aggression that maybe an Alpha would. So if you're somebody who doesn't really want a super, super aggressive sole plate, but still wants that speed boot-like fit and feel, this is definitely the boot to pick up. And finally, we move on to the Morelia DNA, which is one of the most incredible football boots I have ever tried. I actually own one pair from the previous launch, if you will. They only had two colorways. So one colorway, which I'll put pictures up on screen, was this metallic blue color. It was like a very deep blue with the white Running Bird logo. That's a pair that I did own and then ended up selling. And then I currently own an all white pair with the silver Running Bird logo. So those two were released in 2021. And now they've updated it with the new Morelia Neo 4 sole plate and Neo 4 Beta, obviously. It's the same sole plate. So they've got the new updated sole plate and some of the updates that have been made to the Morelia 2 on the upper. So they basically smashed together the sole plate from the Morelia Neo series and the comfort of the all leather upper from the Morelia 2. I'm getting my names mixed up. Morelia 2 series. Put them together into a boot that's got all the comfort of an all leather kind of classic, more plush feeling football boot with the speed and aggression of a speed boot sole plate. So this is sort of Mizuno flexing its muscles a little bit to the rest of the boot community, saying, look what we can accomplish with something like this. And this is a boot that I imagine will sell out very quickly. So go to the link down in the description box below to make sure you don't miss out on this incredible pair of football boots, or frankly, any of the other boots in this silver pack colorway. Now, you might be asking, okay, Noah, but which one should I actually pick? Well, if you can't come into store, which is my first recommendation, here's what I would go from a sizing perspective. Personally, I go true to size for every single one of these models, including the Takedown Elite model. Now, this one and this one fit me absolutely beautifully, whereas these two fit slightly long, like less than a quarter size. So I stick true to size. I can deal with a little bit of extra space, no problem. And if I go down half a size, it ends up being way too tight. I also have really wide feet. So you might find especially with the Neo 4 Betas, if you have really narrow feet, you might actually find going half a size down works really well for you. But again, I recommend true to size across the entire range of boots, particularly though with the Alpha and with the Morelia 2 or the DNA. It's gonna fit about the same. All right, so what is the DNA like to even put on your feet? Well, I gotta say, it is probably one of the most incredible experiences straight out of the box. You get the comfort of the Morelia 2 upper with, of course, the performance and the lasting from the Morelia Neo 4 and Neo 4 Beta. Now, inside the boot, you've got basically an entire suede heel liner, which is actually quite narrow, which I love. Yes, it has got a lot of flex, so regardless of whether you have a larger or a narrower Achilles tendon area, you're gonna fit in these, I think, absolutely perfect. And then from a width perspective, you'll notice straight out of the box, these have plenty of width with the central lacing system, plus being completely K-leather, they are gonna give you the most seamless fit you can possibly ask for. And from a performance perspective, you can expect these to be one of the most amazing football boots on the market. Now, as you probably know, if you're somebody who regulars or frequents the Morelia 2, they aren't the most responsive football boots on the market. The synthetic Running Bird logo is actually really well placed because it essentially acts as lateral and medial stability through the midfoot. Because if you didn't have that, there are other more smaller and more bespoke Japanese brands and brands from around the world that are a full leather upper but don't include things like this, and it makes a pretty substantial difference to the lockdown of the football boot. That being said, don't expect these to be anywhere close to the lockdown of the Alpha or even the Morelia Neo 4 Beta series. That's particularly because this is an all-leather upper, so it's going to stretch in basically every little nook and cranny, which will give you a superior fit to the other models. However, it's not going to be as sort of performance-oriented. That being said, it is going to give you one of the most incredibly plush and soft sensations on feet. You're going to get the exact same touch on the ball that you will with any of the other regular Morelia 2 series models. the Made in Japan and even the Elite model. These are, of course, some of, if not the most premium feeling boots on the market from a leather perspective. It's incredibly lightweight feeling, but the touch feels that little bit extra plush that you don't get from new age synthetic models or even synthetic leather models. And then in terms of the sole plate gives you this awesome, really snappy, kind of forward pushing movement when they're on feet. It's a sole plate I absolutely love and mirrors a lot of the types of plates that I actually personally use on a day-to-day basis for my own trainings and content. So the Morelia Neo 4 sole plate is absolutely one of the best on the market, especially if you're somebody who potentially plays on a hybrid surface. So you play on AG sometimes and you play on FG other times, or for those who don't necessarily want that super aggressive bite into the ground, but still want all the benefits of a very responsive speed boot traction plate. So overall, what is there to say about the performance and the on-feet experience of the Morelia DNA? Well, this is probably the greatest football boot that's ever been created, and I say that with 100% confidence, not just because I'm here on the Ultra channel, but I'm going to say the same thing on my own channel. I think these are absolutely incredible fitting. They feel amazing. They're going to fit pretty much everybody, and they're going to perform to probably about 95% of the top speed boots on the market while still giving you all of the benefits of a full K leather upper. Let's jump back into the studio. All right, guys, that is going to wrap up today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed that on-pitch footage and a little bit of commentary as well as the tech breakdown. If you did, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and make sure you go follow us on Instagram at UltraFootball. In terms of what I'm gonna pick, I'm probably gonna go with the DNA. But I think my second pick would actually be the new Alpha 2. I think it's absolutely incredible. That's not to say that the Morelia Neo 4 betas are worse in any capacity. They're just not what I'm looking for necessarily from either super comfortable or super raw and engaged feeling. But all incredible football boots. Mizuno definitely hit that next tier. This is an S tier type colorway in my opinion, and it's an S tier lineup easily. Hope you guys enjoyed that video, and I will see you guys at the world's greatest football store. My name is Noah Kavanaugh. Peace.